So I guess first of all, just how has the first few days of fall camp been?
It's been good. Guys are working. I think that's all we can ask for. We're working towards a common goal, right, to be as prepared as we can to head into Autzen Stadium. And I'm really pleased with the leadership. Older guys in this room are stepping up. We've got a lot of young guys walking in that they don't know our standard yet. They don't know the standard of the DJM. And so for those guys to kind of take them under the wing and show them how to do certain things, it's been really good. And so I've seen a lot of competition throughout the board, and guys are working hard and competing. That's all I can ask for.
Having the experience, you mentioned leaders, having guys like JT and Titan back, right? How big are those two just kind of leading the room and on the field as well?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, shoot, I just got here. Right? I still got more to learn about Montana State football. So those guys be able to be here and teach me the legacy, the culture, what it means, and for me to add on to that and keep expanding and raising the bar, it's huge. And so a lot of guys gravitate towards those two. And we talked about it today. When those guys get down and they get tired, their level of intensity drops. Well, guess what? The entire room does, right? And so that's a burden, and it's. I talk about it. Pressure is a privilege, not a burden, right? And so that's good pressure for those guys to lead that group and to lead the offense, and quite frankly, lead the team. A lot of guys love to.
For the first time in a while, there's a question at center. We saw the two deep coming into camp. Just how's that competition going, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, Burke didn't get to do spring ball, and we didn't really have a true returning center that's been there the whole time. And so it's my ultimate job and my ultimate goal to get the 5 best offensive linemen on the field at the same time that work together. And so I know Burke's done a little bit in high school, and he showed that he's done enough to be able to be in that spot. And we're working on the consistency and the intricacies of playing that position, and luckily I played that position, so I have some personal knowledge to kind of help him out, some tips and tricks. But he's doing a really good job commanding the room, and that position is important to set everybody on the same tracks, to put everybody on the same page so we can flow. And he's doing a really good job of that, asking a lot of good questions. And so Burke's doing a really good job. JT's always going to be a guy that can do both, which is awesome. So I get his guard reps. He's done spring at center. And I think Aiden Kaplan's doing a really good job at center. We got Tommy Nielsen as well. So we got a lot of competition, and that's kind of was my message today after practice is don't forget everything we do, it's a competition. I'm trying to find the best 5 guys to get on that field.
Yeah, in that same vein, what has it been like with the quarterback competition at the same time working with those guys?
Yeah, it's been great. Are you talking about like center and quarterback?
Yeah,
or?
sure.
Yeah. I think getting together, when we do CQ exchange, just the operations of practice, and quite frankly, we're not good enough yet. We need to continue to improve. That's been an emphasis for us in our room. But to be able to find that mixture, right? You got Chance, you got Justin, you got Pat, you got River, Grant. All those guys are getting different reps. We got Burke, we got Cap, we got Tommy. You know, it is going to be a mix. But as long as we're consistent in the process and the way we do it, hopefully it shouldn't be much of a change.
Saw the offensive line doing a lot of up downs the last couple of days. What does that have to do with from? Is that energy? What is that from?
It's a little bit of everything. I think I always tell those guys we got the keys to the car. We're the ones steering the ship, and there's certain standard that we have to uphold. And so if those guys aren't doing it, it's a quick reminder. It's not to take them down, to piss them off, tell them they suck. It's a quick reminder that, hey, we got to play at our standard if we want to do what we want to do. We've gotten to the big game a couple times. We want to win that. But we win it now. It's 1-0 every day. We can't look past that. So could be guys walking at practice. We don't walk at practice because we can do up downs and run after practice. I don't want to have to do that. Our conditioning should be in the base of practice. And so when guys are slacking, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. It's a quick reminder. Get your quick 3, your couple up downs in, and we're good. False start at practice, right? Just another little reminder. It's nothing to tear the guys down or to beat them up. It's just we have a standard, and what you tolerate, you encourage. So.
Speaking of the standard, what is the ceiling, in your opinion, of this O-line this year?
That's a great question. I really like the balance of leadership, guys who have played a lot of football, and some young talent. And so I think that for the offensive line to do what they need to do, we need to find that chemistry and mesh together, those 5 guys, and I think that's what we're working on right now. I think we have the ceiling to be the best unit in the country, and that's our goal. That's my ultimate goal, is to be the best O-line coach in the country, to have the best O-line in the country. And obviously, this program has had a history of doing that. And so we got guys that have been on it and know what it's about. We got guys that have been hungry to get to that position. So how can we mesh that together to get to that point? And so I think ceiling-wise, at a hypothetical sense, we could be the best in the country. I think that's what we want to do. We're not even close to get there yet. Not that we're bad, but we're not even close.
what stood out just about Everett so far and just that right guard competition?
Yeah, I think Everett played a little bit of everything last year. He's kind of like that guy that can move around, and I really like him at the guard position. I think he provides some athleticism on the inside while still having that size and strength. And there's a lot of things that Everett had to work on the inside: his punch, footwork, pad level, a little bit of everything, even aggression. Just truly going out there and being the most violent person he can be. And we talk about that as we want to be the most violent physical unit on the field, period. And if you're not, you won't be out there. And I think he's really kind of taking that to heart. He's being more physical. He's using his hands more. He's being smart. We talk about playing with our eyes, number one fundamental, and I think he's doing a good job of taking all those coaching points. Maybe not all meshing together perfectly every rep, but he's trying his darndest to get that done. And so I appreciate that. And his overall consistency is good. It makes me feel good as a coach that I can really he's building the trust level. And I think that's important. Player-coach trust is important.
I remember at left tackle, Braden Zimmer was not the biggest guy, or at least the bulkiest guy, even this time last year. What have you seen from him and his growth and just that competition with him and Cedric?
Yeah, no doubt. I already came in at 230, 240, right? And so he's not 240 anymore, which is good, and we're still trying to get it up. It's funny, I walked into the bubble my first day here, and I walk in, I'm like, who's that guy? Because he looks the part, no doubt. And so, big spring for him. He redshirted last year. All of a sudden, new O-line coach comes in, new system, new words, and he's doing a really good job. He's so long and athletic, and he wants to be great. He's smart. He knows what he's supposed to do. And so for him, it's a consistency with keep gaining weight, right? Because he can do all the right things, but 270 to 290 doesn't match up right. So continue to gain weight. Continue to work on the little things, staying square in a set, punching, striking, being physical. But he's doing a lot of really good things, and he's competing. He's competing for that job, and that's what I want. I want guys competing, and I want to find the best 5 guys.
And Cedric, what kind of say that most about him?
Same thing. Obviously he's a little bit more experienced. He started some games last year, but no spring for him. And so for him to work as hard as he did to get his shoulder back and to take the mental reps, I think people kind of lose track of that. Like a lot of guys can watch, but they're not really watching their position. They're not watching what they're supposed to do. They're not really paying attention to meetings because they're not the ones on the screen. Complete opposite with Cedric. He's the guy that is paying attention to whatever I say to Braden or Titan or any of the tackles. He wants to make sure he knows for when it's his opportunity, right? Worked this entire summer, got his strength back, working on his conditioning a little bit. Football conditioning is a little bit different than summer conditioning, but he wants to be there. He wants to attack it, and he's very self-aware of what's going on. He knows before I even tell him what he did wrong, and that's because he's paying attention, he's taking the coaching, and now he's trying to apply. So that's all I can ask for.
What's it been like working alongside Coach Sturbick now for a few months and the philosophy he's implementing on that offense?
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely going to look different from what we're used to, but Coach Sturbick knows how to put points on the board, and I think guys are finally coming together and they're believing in the system, and he's obviously been successful. And again, I think it all comes down to relationships. How is the coach's relationship with the players? And so I think that's something that we harp on as a staff, is getting to know our guys and allowing them to believe in us and have trust not only on the field but off the field. And, I know I'm loud sometimes and I get on guys, but I take pride in knowing them off the field, that they know I care about them, so that way when I do get on them, they know it's coming from a place of love and I want them to get better. And so I think as a staff, Coach Sturbick has done a good job making sure we're doing that. And it's exciting. I think he's doing a really good job getting those quarterbacks dialed in and run the ball, pass the ball, try to be multiple, and put stress on defenses.
Where did the violence come from? So you're always out there.
Yeah, a lot of self-reflection. I think I'm a young coach, and as a player, you notice guys who are violent and knocking them off the ball. It's what you want. You got to win the line of scrimmage. It's a line of scrimmage game, and I think as self-reflection, when I talk about to those players, you are what you put on tape. Your film is your resume, right? That's what I base who's starting on the game. I think it's the same for me as a coach. Who are you as a coach? I should be able to watch the film and know exactly who you are as a coach. And so I think violence solves a lot of issues. Solves when we get games and certain twists up front. If we can knock a guy off the ball so we can't pick somebody, that's an awesome job. At the end of the day, I want coach to be able to call a run play and know that we're going to get at least 3-4 yards every single time. And so I think it's a mentality. I think when those guys go out there and they know they put the work in and they grind it and they know their standard and they know they're going to be the most violent, physical offensive line group on the field, I think they have a little bit more fun too. So
great word to describe it.